from WFOR-TV. This is News 4 South Florida.
Happy New Year, everybody. I'm Anita Smith in for Cambrell Marshall. It is the end of an era in South Florida tonight. Millions witnessing history being made as the Orange Bowl is played for the last time in the only home it's ever known. And what a game it was. Sports anchor Joe Zagacki begins our team coverage. Joe.
Anita, I'm here in the Notre Dame band section. Obviously, they're disappointed. It was a great victory for Florida State as they come from behind, winning it here at the Orange Bowl 31-26. The Noles come back with 17 straight points in the fourth quarter. The key connection, Danny Cannell to Andre Cooper. This touchdown pass from Cannell to Cooper wins the game for Florida State. It was Andre Cooper's third touchdown catch of the night, an Orange Bowl record as Florida State comes from behind for the victory. Florida State trailed by 12 points with just 9 minutes to go in the game. They get 2 quick touchdowns plus a safety, and Florida State goes on to win it here at the Orange Bowl tonight by a score of 31-26. The Noles have now won 11 straight bowl games. We'll have more coming up in sports. Live from the Orange Bowl, Joe Zagacki, News 4 South Florida.
See you later. Thank you, Joe. The Orange Bowl is much more than a game. It is an all-day event from tailgate parties to souvenirs. Fans absorbed every minute of the big day. News 4's Andrew Colton is live at the Orange Bowl where the game is over, but the excitement is still in the air. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Anita. You know it. Excitement and everything else you could possibly think of. Take a look. Thousands of fans now trying to get out of here. Good luck getting home. But as we found out right now, while the Orange Bowl is done here at Orange Bowl Stadium, well, it's a lifestyle that for many will carry on.
Welcome to the Orange Bowl 1996. Not just a battle of two teams, but a great place to see what you're not used to seeing.
We're called the Irish Guard, and our mission is to protect the band, and we're also a precision marching unit.
Are there a lot of threats made on the band?
From time to time, we do have to move rowdy bands out of the way.
Complete with skirts, these 6-foot guys say it's an Irish tradition. So is driving all the way from Indiana just for some steak, sausage, and a football game.
It's the Irish tradition. Go Notre Dame. That's where we roll here.
Of course, some are so excited to be here that they couldn't wait for legal parking. Won't they be surprised when they try to drive home? Inside the Orange Bowl, there's nothing better than being at the Orange Bowl, so you can watch it on TV or listen to the radio.
Well, normally I like to listen to the game during the course of the game.
Someone who's normally on the air at games is Dick Vitale, but at this game, he's just a fan.
Tonight I'm nothing but a dad, not a broadcaster. My daughters go to Notre Dame, and my one girl, Sherry's dating the quarterback, Thomas Krug.
The Orange Bowl has its own color scheme. At this one, if you're not wearing green or garnet and gold, you know you're probably safe with orange.
Did you wear this any other time of the year? Or
No, this is about it.
And the ladies love it.
You like sitting next to a man in an orange jacket?
I love sitting next to a man in an orange jacket.
The orange jackets get you pretty good seats, but not everyone's so lucky.
This is the section of the stadium known as the nosebleed level. When you're up here, you're about as far away from the action as you can be, still being in the stadium. In fact, when you're up this high, you have a better view of the city of Miami than you do of what's going on down on the field.
And if you have to sit up here, you should have visited Tony Johnson first.
So these go for how much?
These go for $4 for one. That's the going rate.
And how do you know that you're ever going to see these again? Somebody might just want to take home a chair back.
Well, I don't know, but usually we account for most of them.
You're looking at a live picture now. All these people trying to get out of here at the same time. I don't see too many people with those orange seat backs, though. Overall, people thrilled tonight to be a part of the last Orange Bowl here at Orange Bowl Stadium. Many saying they're just waiting for their team to make it up to Joe Robbie next year. Reporting live from the Orange Bowl, I'm Andrew Colton, News 4, South Florida.
Andrew, thank you very much. He had a lot of fun out there, didn't he? From the hoopla of the game to the halftime extravaganza. The halftime show is almost as famous as the game itself. The Broadway-like singing and dancing, and then there's the light show and the fireworks. This performance was even more special than in the past. That is because this year it celebrated the Miami Centennial and the final year of the Orange Bowl in the Orange Bowl. One person is in the hospital, another may be missing after a boat slams into the Julia Tuttle Bridge. The Coast Guard says it does not know whether there were 2 people in the boat at the time of the accident. The driver cannot tell them. His injuries are too serious. That is why divers searched the water for hours tonight, and they'll be back in the morning. The cause of the crash and the identity of the victim are not known. 2 people are dead after a corporate jet clipped some wires in the skies over Naples. Police say the plane disintegrated, sending shards of metal into a field below. The victims are the pilot and co-pilot. They are from St. Louis and were on the way to pick up 5 people on Marco Island when the accident happened. For 33 years, a Brownsville church nourished souls. Tonight, on this first day of the new year, that church has gone up in flames as some of its many members look on.
It's a great loss, great loss.
The fire ripped through the Greater New Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church on 56th Street, tearing through the roof. The call came in at 4:19. Just minutes later, flames engulfed the building.
When I walked up, my heart was pumping because this church is like my family. To see your church burning up in flames somewhere that you go almost all your life, it's not a good feeling.
It took 60 firefighters to put this one out. No one was inside the building. None of the firefighters was hurt, but there was one really close call.
One of our team was trapped for a few minutes. When the battalion chief was aware that we have a team trapped, another unit was dispatched on the west side of the building. They set up a ladder on the second-story window. They had to remove some burglar bars, and they get the team out safely.
There are almost 700 members of this church. The pastor says they will rebuild.
What next? Getting my peoples together and regroup and redo it.
Nobody knows what sparked this fire. Investigators will be back first thing in the morning to try to find a cause. The investigation continues tonight into the police shooting of a suspected robber. It happened at 18th Avenue and 21st Terrace. Police say the man pushed a woman out of a moving car while trying to grab her purse. We're told he was in the driver's seat and she was on the passenger side. The car somehow ended up crashing into a building. That's when police moved in. The suspect was shot and killed. Parents, if your teenager is still out tonight, it could mean trouble with the law. News 4's Dave Stanley tells us about Dade County's new controversial curfew.
For teenagers in Dade County, 17 and under, the new year means a new way of life. Monday through Thursdays, it's in by 11. Friday and Saturdays by midnight. As of today, Dade County teenagers have a curfew.
It's a tool that we have now that we didn't have before, which is basically directed at the criminal element.
I think it's good. Oh, absolutely.
I don't feel that's right.
Now, you would think that's pretty much the norm. The kids don't like it, the parents do, right? Well, not necessarily.
That's the parents' responsibility. It's not the government's responsibility to keep their kids out of the street.
But, says a 14-year-old,
if you don't have anything to do after 11 o'clock, then why should you be outside?
Oh, but what if you do?
If you do, then too bad.
The idea of a curfew isn't new. In fact, it's been tried before. The kids didn't like it, and neither did the cops, saying they felt like babysitters. But this time around...
It has a little more bite to it. We bring them to the station. Eventually, within a matter of weeks, we're going to have volunteer groups set up where they'll monitor the juveniles until the parents respond. So we don't see it as a babysitting event anymore.
Police admit the curfew will not be their top priority while patrolling the streets, but they say it gives them the legal clout should they see a situation where it's obvious teenagers are up to no good. Dave Stanley, News 4, South Florida.
Still to come tonight on News 4, a deadly avalanche in France. Wait until you hear what caused it. Later, Prince Charles is vacationing in Switzerland. Princes die in the Caribbean. Will their next stop be divorce court? Stay close. News 4 is just getting started.
This Tuesday, bring in your new year with excitement. Free grandstand admission for everyone. Free Europa Sea Cruises with no hidden charges for the first 10,000 fans. Great family entertainment with pony rides, a petting zoo, and more. And the Grade 3 $100,000 Tropical Park Derby. Tuesday, closing day at Calder Racecourse. Thanking you for a record-breaking year. Post time 12:30.
News 4 South Florida is sponsored in part by your South Florida Ford dealers.
Pop quiz, what's the best-selling sports car in its class? The Ford Mustang. And the 96 Mustang comes fully equipped with over $1,300 in package savings, plus $750 cash back when you buy for a total savings of over $2,100. Or lease one for just $226 a month for 24 months. That's the lowest payment in years. Right now, you can buy any 96 Ford Mustang with $750 cash back from Ford. Or lease one for only $226 a month at your South Florida Ford dealer.
It's the ultimate.
No more questions, no more doubts.
Number 1 Nebraska and number 2 Florida. The national championship is on CBS.
A bus crash that killed more than 24 people tops our look at world news. It happened in a Mexican town about 100 miles southwest of Tucson, Arizona. One bus crossed into oncoming traffic and rammed another bus. 6 of the 26 who died were children. More than 20 other people were hurt. A man who drove his car into a New Year's crowd will go before a judge tomorrow on numerous counts of assault with intent to murder. 20 people were hurt. Now, police say Anthony Brooks drove through the crowd of people because they did not clear out of his way fast enough. But his girlfriend says Brooks rammed their car into the crowd after the group attacked the couple in their car. In France, 2 skiers are accused of causing an avalanche that killed a man. Authorities say those skiers went into a forbidden area. 5 other skiers were rescued alive and well, and it was a massive rescue operation. 300 people who worked for hours until they could find no other victims or survivors. Despite continuing problems with mud, hundreds more U.S. troops have crossed into Bosnia across that just-built pontoon bridge. It is the second day of a massive ground deployment in the international peacekeeping mission. The troops will split up. Some will move out to areas in North Bosnia. The others will head south toward Tuzla. Here in the U.S., the cold weather couldn't stop an annual event in Maine. The temperature registered 21 degrees in the air, 30 degrees in the water. But the members of the Portland Rugby Club did their annual lobster dive anyway. The money raised from the dip will go toward the Maine Special Olympics. If you're like most people, you've resolved to get more exercise this year. Coming up on News 4, a little inspiration to help get you moving.
And if you're heading back up north after being here in South Florida for the holiday weekend, big storm developing up there. We'll take a look at it on my Earthwatch forecast. It's coming up on News 4. Stay tuned.
What's News for? For breaking the big stories, anytime, anywhere.
What's News for? For asking the tough questions and sticking around to get the right answer.
What's News for? For covering what you care about and making sure problems come with real solutions.
What's News for? For bigger news.
For bolder reporting.
And better coverage.
Now that's news.
That's News 4 South Florida.
January's jamming.
Jamming.
Oh, you're Toyota.
Thank you, next.
Lease Avalon from Toyota. $299 a month. $299 a month.
$299 a month. Huh?
Okay, next, please.
See the special edition Avalon with genuine burlwood dash, leather trim seats, custom sport wheels, and more.
Very nice.
January's jamming only at Toyota. Save big.
That's really big.
Now.
Great bargain hunting safari, the huntress must be sure-footed in her quest for the lowest price in the jungle, no matter what the danger to herself. And the dangers are many.
When you're ready to bag the big bargains, come to the Festival Flea Market Mall and come to hunt. Sample Road at the Turnpike, Pompano.
Family and friends will say their final goodbyes tomorrow to Aaron Revac, the 6-year-old heart transplant patient who died of heart failure on Friday. Aaron made headlines in 1991 when he underwent a transplant for a rare form of cardiomyopathy, a heart muscle disease. Aaron's viewing is set for tomorrow from 11 to 1 at Philbrick and Lithgow Funeral Chapel in Coral Gables, and his funeral will follow at Graceland Cemetery. Encouraging news about a heart disorder tops news for your health tonight. Researchers say they have identified a gene that could lead to improved treatment for long QT syndrome. Those who have the disorder have an increased risk for episodes where their hearts race too fast to pump blood effectively. The episodes can cause fainting and sometimes death. Researchers say, certain drugs may help reduce the death rate from the syndrome. Two new studies are the first ever to confirm your personality could indeed be in your genes. Scientists have pinpointed a gene that influences how impulsive, excitable, quick-tempered, and extravagant you are. Researchers say this could be the first step toward unraveling the genetics of personality. We've all said we were going to do it. Some of us even attempt to keep our promise to get in shape. News 4's Angela Ray has more on how to make the new year mean a new you.
Okay, I've decided these people are superior to me. I mean, look at them. It's New Year's Day, for crying out loud, and they're at the spa working on those spas. You're always in a health club?
Well, no, I do at home 3 times a week.
Show off. Well, I come to the gym, too.
Actually, I was up around 8, but I didn't make it until 10:30.
Oh, well, we forgive you for that. There's no way. Another show-off who's conscientious enough to get to the gym the day after the biggest party day of the year. Well, so did I.
I work out all the time, and especially if you want to get your routine going for the year, today is a good day to come.
A lot of sweating and a lot of hopping around. I don't know.
I've lost about 63 pounds.
Whoa, Nellie!
It's aerobics, and it's also the weight room. Weight training combined is what I watch when I'm eating.
Look, let's get serious for a moment. We all worked out over the holidays, and the only way to look like this is to get serious.
And every January, we get a rush of people in here. But unfortunately, they don't keep it up. That's why I'm here to help them do that.
You know, I only found one person who didn't need to be in here working out hard like me. This little honey is on direct orders from me to double her weight by next year. Happy New Year! Angela Ray, News 4, South Florida.
Yeah, we really need to get Angela in those aerobics classes. The holidays are over and so's the vacation. Your back-to-work forecast is coming up. And a psychic's predictions for some of South Florida's most well-known people.
This holiday season, we'd like to thank you for helping Lexus attain the highest customer loyalty of any luxury import. So we're celebrating with a December to Remember sales event. Lease an ES300 with a luxury value package for just $399 a month for 36 months. Remarkable values on every Lexus make this truly a December to Remember. So hurry. After January 3rd, it's just a memory. Buy or lease by January 3rd at your South Florida Lexus dealer.
In a perfect world, there's perfect toast, perfect grades, and the perfect job. There are no hassles in a perfect world, and nothing ever breaks. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, which is why you'll be happy to know you'll now find the full line of dependable Maytag appliances at Best Buy. You'll also find no payments and no interest for 1 year on all Maytag appliances. The world's not perfect, but with hassle-free appliances now in the hassle-free store, it's awfully close.
If your New Year's resolution is to get more involved with the community in 1996, Neighbors Helping Neighbors wants to hear from you. They're closed for the holiday today, but you can call 930-WFOR tomorrow. They'll connect you with people and organizations who need your help, and they'll tell you about volunteering opportunities.
This is today's medicine. Not just tablets, but health forms, co-pays, insurance plans, drug interactions, prescriptions you take with meals or before bed, but not with dairy products. Then there's the question of brand names versus generics, and are you paying too much? And this is an Eckert pharmacist, someone who can simplify today's medicine and still offer prices so low they meet or beat AARP. It's the right care, the right cost, and it's right at Eckert.
Walk into any Office Depot, and two things are obvious. Thousands of brand-name office products and guaranteed low prices. But that's not all.
You can order by phone or fax and get guaranteed delivery next business day.
And for corporate clients who require a professional account executive, Office Depot's Business Services Division provides total business solutions nationwide.
Taking care of business. Office Depot, taking care of business for companies of every size, everywhere, every day.
There was quite a New Year's blast in California overnight. We're not talking about a party. Strong winds causing damage in the area near San Diego. Many utility crews are spending the first day of 1996 cleaning up the mess. Well, a little shower at the Orange Bowl game tonight could have been a lot worse. The rest of Florida has been deluged today and yesterday, and really we totally lucked out. Wait till you see the radar. Temperatures right now in the mid-70s under mostly dry skies. The wind is south at 10. The humidity is 97. The barometer is 2981, and it is going down. Take a look at this big batch of heavy rain coming in over the Fort Myers area, moving up north of Lake Okeechobee. That's some heavy stuff, and there's the little skinny band of rain that came through Dade and Broward earlier tonight and did shower a little bit on the Orange Bowl, but I'll tell you what, if we'd gotten in that stuff there, we would have been really wet. Right now, it is coming down heavy north of Tampa, up through central Florida and into the Jacksonville area. They've got the most clouds up there, as you would imagine. We're not too bad down here at the moment. Here's how much rain fell around the state just today. Daytona Beach, 2 3/4 inches of rain, over 2 there at Ocala, nearly 2 at Orlando, over an inch of rain at Sarasota. And in the past 2 days, Sarasota's had over 2.5 inches of rain, 3 2/3 at Ocala, and Daytona Beach, nearly 4 3/4 inches of rain. Why? Well, there's a big storm system that's cranking up here across the lower Mississippi Valley. It's affecting all of the Gulf and all of Florida and will soon be affecting the entire eastern part of the country. It's a rough go tonight across parts of Louisiana and Mississippi. Eyes to the sky for severe weather tornado watches in effect for that part of the country. Here's what's going to happen over the next 24 hours. This storm system will get its act together, go on the road, and move up into the Tennessee Valley. It'll be in this position tomorrow. Big area of bad weather, snow here from the central states over to the eastern Great Lakes, rain along the seaboard. Then on Wednesday, the snow area expands. There'll be ice, meaning freezing rain and freezing drizzle in between the snow and the rain. The cold front poised to come through South Florida on Thursday as more bitter cold Arctic air starts to sweep on down. A major winter weather event getting cranked up for you folks heading back to the Northeast after your weekend here in Florida. Cloudy, could rain for tonight, 76 degrees. There are still some showers out there and will be for a couple of days. Limited sunshine tomorrow, not too bad, kind of in and out sun, variably cloudy, that kind of thing. 73 in the morning, gets back up to a warm 84 in the afternoon. The wind southwest, that's why so warm, but very windy out there, 25 knots for boaters, and seas up to 8 feet. Here are your 5 days ahead, calling for more unsettled weather, clouds, possibility of some showers over the next couple of days, but we will be warm. And then we cool down again, Anita, on Thursday, and we should see more of the sunshine, too, at that time.
Is this unusual? You know, I've only been down here for, I think, one winter, but is this unusual to have this much cool weather this late?
No.
Not unusual.
Everything is completely under control.
Okay, so I'm not displaced here.
No,
I did come for the right reasons.
Yes, you did. It's much worse in Chicago, believe me.
Thanks a lot, Gary. New Year's Day is coming to an end. There is still one more College Bowl to go, though. We will preview the fight for first place in the Fiesta Bowl, plus highlights from tonight's historic Orange Bowl game when News 4 turns to sports.
She's a lady. Whoa, 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 she's a lady.
Virginia, 23280.
It truly was a good day for football, Steve
Oh,
Shapiro.
man, they went out big, and Happy New Year to you.
Getting a little late for me.
As we told you earlier, Florida State comes from 12 down in the fourth quarter to beat Notre Dame 31-26. Bobby Bowden wins his 11th straight bowl game, last Orange Bowl Classic at the Orange Bowl, about 80,000. Notre Dame strikes first. Backup quarterback Tom Krug, that's Tom Krug, hits Derek Mays. It was 7-0. Knowles come back to take the lead, though. Danny Cannell, local guy, Fort Lauderdale, to Andre Cooper. We were hanging with Mr. Cooper, 7-7. Then in the second, you don't see him any better than this. Cannell scrambles, throws toward Cooper. He's covered like a blanket, but he out-jumps the coverage. FSU led 14-10 at the break. Irish scored twice with their own version of the jump ball. Derek Mays at the goal line. Watch this. What a catch. ND led 26-14. FSU scores twice. We'll pick it up 26-21. Fourth down. Cannell to E.G. Green to the 4-yard line. Here it is. Cannell, 4 touchdown passes, 3 to that guy, Andre Cooper. Both Orange Bowl records. Florida State beats Notre Dame 31-26. Joe Zagacki is at the Orange Bowl with one of the heroes of the game. Joe.
All right, Steve, we're here with the hero of the game, Danny Cannell, the key connection, 3 touchdown passes to Andre Cooper. What was the key to the comeback?
I'll tell you what, we just had a lot of pride involved, and the guys are so proud of our team. You know, we just never gave up. You know, it wasn't looking too good there for a while, but the whole team just kept fighting to the very end, and we know we have a lot of confidence in ourselves and know that, you know, if we can just catch a little momentum, that things could work out for the best.
How about the last touchdown pass to Andre Cooper?
I'll tell you what, I got a lot of confidence in that guy. He's just such a great athletic leaper that's going to make a play, you know. And looking at him, you know, if two guys are on him, I'll give him the ball and let him go up for it, because if he doesn't get it, nobody will.
All right, Danny, congratulations.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Hometown boy turns out to be a hero here in the final game played at the Orange Bowl. Danny Cannell, 3 touchdown passes on the night. Florida State rallies for the big win, 31-26. Live at the Orange Bowl with Danny Cannell, Joe Zagacki, News 4 Sports.
And Florida State finishes 10-2. Our big game on Channel 4 tomorrow night, Florida and Nebraska for the national championship. Ned Smith reports from Arizona. Expect a bunch of points and no tie.
With the Cornhuskers averaging 52 points per game and the Gators 44 points, it's no wonder their offenses are optimistic this game won't be a defensive struggle.
We have different plays for scoring from different places on the field. We're going to try to come out and dominate everybody that we face. So, you know, it'd be pretty tough to defend us. I wouldn't know how you go about it, but, you know, I sure wouldn't want to try.
And what if you're Florida and Nebraska and you climbed and scratched your way to the top of the mountain only to look at the scoreboard at the end of regulation and see that you're tied? Well, this year in the Fiesta Bowl, it won't end up that way. That's because there will be a tiebreaker. After a coin flip, each team will have 4 plays to score from 25 yards out.
So I think the concept's good, and I certainly can't argue with the format of what they've outlined. I suppose that to some degree you're at the mercy of a coin toss.
Like all coaches, I would guess you want the ball second. If you had your choice, take it second so you know what you need to do. I think it's an exciting way to finish a game.
In Tempe, Arizona, Ned Smith, News 4 Sports.
That's Tempe. There were 6 bowl games today at the Rose. The clock strikes 12 on Northwestern's Cinderella season. The Wildcats lose. The Rose Bowl, USC today had 100,000 there for the Trojans. This is Brad Otten. To Keyshawn Johnson. Johnson had 12 catches, goes for 219 yards, scores this touchdown. Northwestern actually trailed 24-7. Then they come back to take the lead. Darnell Autry scores. We go to the end of the game. Northwestern trailing 34-32. Steve Schnurr, the quarterback, but he throws this INT, gets the pick there. USC goes down and scores. Northwestern loses 41-32. It was raining in Orlando, Florida today at the Citrus Bowl. Tennessee played Ohio State. Peyton Manning, the quarterback for the Vols. For Tennessee, Peyton Manning to Joey Kent. Tennessee wins this game 20-14. Other bowl games, Cotton Bowl, Colorado and Oregon. The Colorado Buffs, Hessler, the quarterback for Colorado, goes deep sideline. He's got James Kidd in stride. James Kidd is the man. Colorado wins the game 38-6. Rough day for Clemson at the Gator Bowl against Syracuse. Donovan McNabb, the quarterback, double play fake. There it is. Goes up top, Marvin Harrison. Syracuse wins big, 41-0 at the Outback Bowl. We've got Penn State and Auburn. For the Lions, Wally Richardson, for the Nittany Lions, throws to Joe Jerkisius. He gets no extra points for the slide there, but Penn State beats Auburn anyway. The final was 43-14. What a day in sports. Green Bay quarterback Brett Favre is the NFL MVP. What a great, this guy is one of the toughest players in the whole league here. Throws 38 touchdown passes. He's got his team in the playoffs. Next week, though, they got to go to San Francisco to play the Niners. But the Green Bay Packers are really good, and don't be surprised if they win out there in San Francisco next week.
I surely won't be.
What a great day in sports.
It sure was. Thanks a lot, Steve. Ahead on News 4, will 96 be the year the royal couple heads to divorce court? The latest in the saga of Chuck and Di coming up.
Chopper 4, the best pictures in the air, on the air.
Don, we're up here in Chopper 4.
Chopper 4, the only chopper with Star Wars technology. Locked in to get you pictures rock steady, up close.
You can actually read the license plate.
Chopper 4, the only chopper with 5 cameras. So you see it first, see it better.
Provide our viewers in South Florida views that they've never been able to see.
Nothing else comes close. Chopper 4, only on News 4 South Florida.
And this is the same technology.
Day and date. Tuesday, January 2.
Will the material girl turn material witness? She was hunted by a stalker, now he's facing trial, and a judge is desperately seeking Madonna. Will the superstar have her day in court or pay a $5 million tab if she's a no-show?
We'll get it to you first live every day.
No reruns, no second take. I'm Dana King.
And I'm Patrick Van Horn. If it's happening now.
It's happening here.
Live next, Day and Date.
Tomorrow at 4 on WFOR-4 South Florida.
Okay, everybody, here's tonight's winning lottery numbers. Fantasy 5, 2, 5, 6, 22, and 23. Cash 3, 6, 6, and 4. Play 4, 5, 7.
News 4 South Florida.
Watch it.
The latest models, the hottest features, the biggest sellers. Ford's bringing the Fort Lauderdale International Auto Show right into your living room. It's the Auto Show. With high-tech cars to state-of-the-art auto systems, this show has something to get any car lover revved up. Find out what's hot for 96. Plus, go for a spin in James Bond's BMW. The Auto Show, brought to you by these sponsors. Thursday at 8, only on Ford South Florida.
The saga of England's royal family continues tonight. The British tabloids are saying that Princess Di has agreed to a divorce from the prince on her terms. She reportedly says she wants a role in public life and a guarantee that she will continue to be treated like a princess. The palace says this is all a lot of hype. The spokeswoman says the princess is in the Caribbean and no one has heard from her. Okay, so no one really knows what's going to happen to the royals, but renowned psychic Mickey Dane can clue us in to what's in store for some well-known South Floridians this year. Here are Dane's predictions you will hear only on News 4. For one of South Florida's most beloved songbirds, Gloria Estefan, and her husband Emilio, psychic Mickey Dane sees a new, bigger recording studio. And if she is correct, a joint project between the Estefans and the master of movie making, Steven Spielberg. For Miami's own Janet Reno, now the nation's top cop, Dane predicts a, quote, beautiful book about her. There's good news as well for Dolphin coach Don Shula.
He's coming back stronger and bigger than ever next year, and you watch the changes, because he don't quit, no way.
Dane does expect a major change with the Pope. He has been ill lately, and she says he may have to step down. And remember months ago when hundreds of people were stranded on a Carnival cruise ship? Well, Dane says she is worried about trouble for the boating and cruise line industry, and she's warning anyone taking a trip in '96 to be careful. Finally, she sees good news for President Clinton and says 1996 overall will be a good year for children.
Everything's going to be children this year, schools, larger schools, better funding. And yes, I still think Mr. Clinton's going to be with us. Very much so.
We'll wait and see. And that is News 4 for tonight. Thank you for watching. Remember, if you see news in the making, call us in Dade Caller News Hotline at 477-2444. In Broward, that number is 463-NEWS. On your Bell South Mobility cell phone, it is a free call at Star TV 4. The Late Show with David Letterman is next. News 4 is back tomorrow morning at 7:25. Thanks for staying up with us. Happy New Year, everybody.